Hi, I guess I just feel like talking today. Again, I have shout out Kate Hugo is this designer, this brand with this jacket, and Miley Cyrus wears it, and Lizzo, and whatever. So that's great company. Um, there's a lot going on now with astrology, with the times, with politics, male-female dynamics, and power struggles, and this Barbie and Oppenheimer movie out. And what I just wanted to talk about is what's going to happen with all the male rage. Like right now, we see there's a lot of male rage in the right-wing radical politics. They're trying to roll back abortion rights, make no-fault divorce not happen, roll back education, roll back civil rights. And it's just, these things, this is America, these things are not going to go through. The fact that 69% of Republicans believe that Trump is the front runner to defeat Joe Biden is insane. Like, what happened to their brains? The fact that Trump could even be, he's not even legal to run. I mean, like, he's being indicted for overthrowing the government. He's the last person to be president, yet so many were fooled by him, and they bought into the lies of the alpha man and the patriarchy, that the bully is the strong man. And this is what's being dismantled. Trump is falling hard and fast, and all of this Republican right-wing nonsense is falling hard and fast, and women are not going back to having no rights over their bodies and no bank accounts and being dependent on men. Women are outstripping men in the workplace and education in so many ways, and there's so many ways that this is showing up in America now. I mean, the fall of Andrew Tate, and the soon-to-be fall of these Republican nut jobs, but also the rise. There's an incredible woman, Princella, on the Queen Maker. She's viral on TikTok, but she's been in the army and has held many corporate jobs. Is a mother, is divorced, but she really sets the record straight on the nature of men and educates women about it. And there is a huge movement now of women rejecting bondage with men, rejecting the role of being a slave when you get married. And and I know that role because I am older, and I was raised, what I wanted was to be a wife and mother. And I put myself on the back burner for decades, and I really sacrificed myself for the needs of the family and my husband, and I supported his career and supported everybody living their dreams. Now I am pursuing my big, my novel and my TV series, my Donatella project. So, no worries, I'm doing it. I'm achieving all my dreams, but thank God I have a lot of energy. But I supported so many, and so many women do support others' dreams and think about others, think about their family, think about their children, thinking about their partners. And we don't get that in return. We don't get the support for our dreams. And so that's one thing. The other thing is when the patriarchy falls, and this is in the stars. What is happening with Pluto now? What is happening with Mars now? What is happening with, goddess energy rising in the planet? This is not just America. This is a planetary thing of the divine feminine, which has been oppressed for so long, probably like 5,000 years, is rising with a vengeance and with justice and triumph on her side. My question is, what is going to happen to these angry men who right now they're flooding the internet. These podcast bros and angry in women's comments, they think they're going to win. But when Trump falls and the Republican Party it's in shambles already, just going backwards. But what happens to their rage? And a lot of them can't get women. Women don't want them. And what's going to happen with rape statistics, sexual assaults, road rage, gun violence, battery, assault? What are these men going to do with their rage when they realize women, aren't selecting them and women are moving on and they are stuck in a lower mindset and they're not rational? Anybody that's supporting Trump right now is not rational. You're not in your rational mind. You're not in a right mind. Anybody that wants to roll back women's rights, civil rights, you're not in your right mind. Your mind is not working right. So that's like the baseline. So the chance of these people bettering themselves and being able to look at themselves from an outside perspective and say, hey, what can I do to change myself, to raise my intelligence, my empathy, my sense of accomplishment in the world, to make it, don't know if they can do it. Because if you haven't gotten this memo yet, how are you going to get it? And like when I drive, and probably everybody notices this, even around the neighborhood, but particularly on a highway, there's these guys, usually in a giant, brand new, like $60,000 pickup truck. But it could be a little red sports car, it could be a little black sports car, it could be a little white sports car. And they somehow think, everybody's going like 70 miles an hour. They somehow think that the roadway is a freaking video game. And they're weaving in and out like they must be going 90 with no turn signals, with like getting in between cars. No reason. Like, what kind of mindset would a person have to risk their life or everybody's life just for thrills? And what's going to happen to these men? The road rage, the gun rage, the porn industry. Porn actually ruins men's bodies. Their penises stop working. Their minds don't work, and their emotions don't work. So what's going to happen? This is a true concern. What's going to happen with this when the fall of patriarchy happens, which is happening, and the men that used to easily get, jobs here or there and, get a woman because women couldn't support themselves, and it was written into religions that, woman has to marry, this man for life, and she just gets stuck having his kids. So a mediocre man could control a woman. What's going to happen now to these mediocre men who are, and mediocre and below, when they're rage filled, the world, they're not operating on like the new operating system of the way the world's going. And this is a legitimate question, about violence, gun violence, violence in the home, against children, against women, against other men. What are these men going to do with their rage and their sense when they've been knocked off the throne? They never did anything to get on the throne except be born a white man. But see, that's the thing. Now you actually have to perform. You have to perform as a human, and you have to make yourself useful to society and to others, and you have to learn to get by, not just because you're a white man and everything's handed to you. The job, the big paycheck, and the wife being your slave. You don't get that anymore. And so the sense of entitlement is gone. And what's going to happen to the rage? And this is a legitimate concern. Thoughts?